It's now time to create our database. So we're going to open up FileMaker. I've got FileMaker Pro open now, and I'm going to start by going to File and New Solution. I'm going to start a new solution. The first thing it wants to do is ask you to save this database. And as you remember, you don't have to save as you go along. It automatically saves the database every time you add something to it or change something in it. So do you remember how when we were early on we had to make sure we saved a copy of it as we went along so that we could go back in case we'd made a mistake. So don't forget that little bit. So we're going to save it inside this folder on the desktop that we've got that we've called Smags Database, and we're going to give it the name Smags _ Boutique. We're going to call it Smags Boutique. Okay, there we go. So we'll click Save. And there it is. Now, my file field picker window is open. You don't need that one open at the moment, so we can close that one. What I have done, though, at this stage, can you see how my window doesn't go all the way across? I've actually I'm only using it for about 2/3 of the screen, so that I can still see this table structure that we were using in the last video underneath, because we'll need to refer back to that one as we go through it. Okay, let's get started. We need to add our tables into our brand new blank database. So we're going to go to the word File, Manage the Database. We're going to manage the database, and it brings up the Manage Database window. Okay. Now, by default, it assumes you've got a table in there, and the table is going to be the same name as your whole database. So Smags Boutique, We don't want that. We actually want to change that. So we're going to go onto Tables here. Here we are on Tables. There is our Smags Boutique, the name it's defaulted to, but we're going to change that because the first one we need to talk about is the table of orders. Let me just move that aside so you can see table of orders. Yep. So we're going to create a table that's called TBL ORDERS, table of orders. Yep. And we're going to change it so it's now the table of orders. Now we need our other two tables as well, because we've got 3 tables in this. So the next one is going to be the table of customers. Oh, customer. It's a singular, customer. Okay, and this time we're going to create it because we wanted another one. And the last one is table of, was it product or products? Product. Thank you. Table of product. PROD. Okay, so now when we go create, we have our 3 different tables. As you can see in each table, it doesn't have any fields and it doesn't have any records. So they're 3 blank tables with nothing sitting in them. So we better start putting some fields into these tables. And we're going to start with the easiest of the 3, the orders field. So there we are. We're going to click on the orders field, and we're going to come across to fields where it says field here, the middle tab of the 3. So now the table is the orders table. At the moment it doesn't have any fields in it. So now we can start creating some fields. And this is where we can again refer back to this table structure document we were using in the last video. So here comes our first field. We're going to give it the name __ ORDERS, orders. Okay. And the next 2 letters are capital ID, orders ID, capital P, capital K for primary key. So it's orders ID primary key. And is this going to be a text field? No, it's not. It's actually going to be a number field. Do you remember how we were talking about a uniquely generated number? So at the moment we just have to go, yeah, let's create that field. As soon as we've created it, it allows us to access this options button here. See the options button? And when I click on that, I can now specify how I want that field to work. I want it to be a serial number. I want it to generate on creation. I want the next value to be 1 and then to go up by 1 each time. Okay? And I don't want anybody to just put in any number randomly. So if somebody's adding a new record, we don't want the person that's inputting the data to be able to put their own number in. So we're going to prohibit the modification of the value during data entry. So that box is ticked there as well. Okay, so serial number generated on creation, the next value will be 1, and then it will go up by 1 each time. So the first value will effectively be 1 and go up by 1. We'll go OK. So there we go. We've got our first one in there. Now what's the next one we need to put in? Yep. All right, we'll highlight that and we're going to go single underscore CUST, cust, capital ID, FK for foreign key, customer ID foreign key, yes it's a number, we'll create it. Okay, next one, underscore PROD, capital I, capital D, capital FK, foreign key, number, create. And the last one, order date, not a number, a date. That makes sense, doesn't it? Okay. So there we go. So we now have 4 fields in our table of orders that we have created. Can you see them there? All right. So now we need to look at the other 2 tables, the customer table and the product table. So we'll start with the customer table. What's the first one we're going to create in the customer table? Well, in a minute I'm going to leave you to work through and add all these in, but let's just do the first one again as it's the most complicated. So the first one goes underscore underscore, yeah? CUST, capital ID, capital P, K, customer ID primary key. What sort of it is it going to be? It's going to be a number field, and we'll create it. As soon as we've created it, we can go to options, serial number, yes, yes, tick that box as well, go OK. Okay, so your task now is to put in all these other fields for the customer table and then change across to the product table and put in all the fields that we need for the product table as well. Okay. Once we've got all those together, we can then look at the relationships between them. Okay. At the moment we've got an orders table, a customer table and a product table, but they're not linked together. There's no relationship between the 3 of them, is there? Yeah. You can see that they're just 3 separate tables sitting there not doing anything. So we need then to be able to put a relationship in between them. That will show you in the next video. But for now, let's just make sure that when we go to our fields, we put all the right fields in for our 3 tables. Off you go.